Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, and I'm driving across the wonderful Causeway Bridge again. 25 years now of this lovely scenery. So, yeah, doing good. Got my premium coffee from Circle K. I kind of messed it up. I put a little toffee in there. Whenever I add stuff to my coffee, it just, I don't know, it always tastes burned and weird. So I try not to. It's been a while, but I don't know. I had a weak moment. So anyway, things are going well. Oh, let's see, what happened? Worked out last night. That was fun. Actually had a lot of energy. So I think I'm on the cheeseburger diet. Okay, I find when I go to the gym, and I don't know if it's so much lack of sleep or lack of food. I don't know which one gives me less energy. Some days I'm like dragging bricks behind me, and some days I'm like Superman. So I don't know if it's sleep or lack of food. But anyway, I've been getting a 280 calorie cheeseburger because I'm health conscious at Wendy's, and then I'll go work out. It's like, man, when I get that even junk food fuel on the fire, I do better. I've got like twice the energy. I'm running like 7 miles per hour the whole time on the little elliptical, and throwing them weights around, doing good. But it's like, man, when I'm hungry, I am like about to faint the whole time. So I don't know. I got to find something. I'm sure health nuts would say, eat a handful of almonds and I don't know, some soybeans. I'm like, 280 calories for $1. I'm eating a cheeseburger. It do taste good. But yeah, anyway, I totally forgot what I was going to talk about in the show, so I'm just going to talk. Got my mini natural bananas. Got my green apple. I don't know what it is at Walmart and their apples. It's like apples are becoming so, I guess, processed. They all taste mealy to me now, If I like dunk this thing in peanut butter, it starts tasting good, but by itself, it's just like apple flavored sawdust. It's kind of what they all taste like to me now. I don't know why that is. So I might have to go back to plums and sweet stuff. So anyway, the little short film is creeping along. Yesterday we were talking about motion tracking in After Effects, which, gosh, this is turning into a special effects extravaganza. I want to take this thing old school. I want to do like rear projection, pretty much rear projection. And it's not rear projection, it's front projection, what I'm doing. So the two choices, I'm spinning. The two choices are project on a screen, like a king size sheet. I guess that's big enough, I don't even know. It's gotta be big. King size sheet, and then have a vignette around the video. I'll make like a cave. You're looking through a cave mouth, and you see in the reflection the critters running by, running through this cave. And or have a, see, this is like, this gets complicated. Or have like a flat, like a 10 foot by 12 foot flat, paint it black, and put little white stickers all over it. Okay, whatever, they can be in the grid, it doesn't matter as long as there's in some pattern. It doesn't have to be a pattern really, but just because I'm anal retentive, it'll be a pattern. And like the intersections of a checkerboard. So it's black, a black wall, white dots on it, and and a black light. A black light shines on the white dots, make them glow like crazy at night. The mask is being lit independently. It's got its own light source. Okay? It's like built onto the rig. So when you turn, the lights turn and everything turns. So this is going to be a heavy rig. It's going to feel good on somebody's neck in about an hour. So anyway, I guess you would see the dots in the reflection and use those as motion track points. It's a little far-fetched, but that's one of the ideas we tossed around yesterday. And it's like, it gets complicated quick. And yeah, so when you walk up to the dots, you see perspective changes, and when he's walking, the dots are moving, doing this number, you know. And but I don't know what happens when the problem comes in with motion tracking is when you whip out of a scene and then you whip back into the scene, and those dots were off and then on again. Okay, the problem is it's like it's like they want to stay on they want you to have the dots on the screen the whole time. So I don't know, they're never smart enough to kind of like say, oh, here's a new scene, let's track these dots. It doesn't do that. What it wants is a lockdown and a slight little bobby camera. That's what it's designed for. It's like, okay, we're walking toward a wall, but it's like, that's annoying, you know. And it's like, that's not what I want. I don't want him walking toward the wall. I want him looking at the back of the cave, then looking at the front of the cave. I want this stuff to appear on his mask, and it's like it's really in a cave that's reflecting on his mask. And it's like, you can't do that with motion tracking dots. And what's a pain in the butt is you got to do something to get the dots out of there, because that's really annoying. And it's a pain in the butt. You know, if you're doing a whole 3D face or something over the hole in the mask, but that's something else because it's opaque and you're covering all the dots. But if you're putting a transparency over these dots, it's a pain in the butt because you're gonna see the stupid dots. You gotta sit there and rotoscope them out and clone next to it. It's like, oh, this is a nightmare. Need some rotoscope artists to do this crap. Yeah, so I don't think I'm gonna key. I think projection is where it's at. So I'm gonna ask my uncle if I can borrow his projector, and I don't know, I'll try projecting on a screen and see how big it's got to be. I guess I'll just stretch the sheet out in the yard. I really need to, yeah, I need to test drive this. I need to, I guess, stretch it, put a sheet on a wall, and then walk the mask closer and further away and see just how far. I'm serious, this mask is probably going to have to be 2 feet or 3 feet, which might get in the way of the projection. You know, pain in the butt. Maybe it does need to be rear projected. See, that'll kill it if I don't have a rear projection screen. Kill the intensity. So lots of problems. Lots of problems. Hey, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. You know. So I literally, if it's a king size sheet being projected on, I probably have to be no more than 4 feet away from the wall. That's how convex this mask is. It's like, it's round, it's like a bubble, so it's gonna really wide angle everything, you know. It's gonna reduce everything down to a tiny reflection. So it's a fun challenge. How about you guys, doing any special effecty stuff? I like special effects, they're fun. It's like a fun little challenge, it's like a little art project. And I typically just do special effects and never finish the story. But it's all good. Heck, maybe I'll just have him sitting there in the cave, like leaning up against the wall, like, and he tells his story. One man's story in a cave as he dies. I will call it Alone in a Cave. Back in the cave. I don't know. I'll stick with it. I wrote it. I'm doing it. This car's going slow. Why are we going 45 miles per hour on the causeway, people? This is not complicated. So anyway, it's all good. What was I talking about? Coffee? Was I going to do the whole thing on coffee? I don't know. Peter kind of has that angle. You know what's sad? Sad day. I think I'm officially tired of watching Peter McKinnon make coffee. I'm just tired of it. It's like, dude, yes, coffee is a sequence within your daily show, but it's like, I'm getting tired of it. It's like, yes, grinder, interesting little craft that holds water in slow motion with a fancy little bamboo handle, slow-mo pour the cream in, swirl, sip, good. It's like, I'm tired of that. Is it the same segment every time? I mean, it really does look like it. Why reshoot it every time if it's the exact same shot? I don't know. But anyway, around that, I still dig his channel. It's fun. He's fun. He goes out and about. He kind of does what I want to do, but at the moment I can't. Oh no, I'm yawning again. So rude. So rude. So yeah, he's out and about. He does his thing. He meets people. Goes out and talks. Flies everywhere. Seems like he flies every day of the week. Like, hey, I'm just gonna go to Russia today. Okay, I'm back 3 days later. Russia was nice. It was cool. I got some great shots. You know, went up to the Kremlin, and we got in the dome, and I slid down the dome with my drone, and it was cool. This dude goes everywhere. It's like good Googles. Does this guy never stay home? Does he ever stay home? It's like, he's in Canada, and he's at Casey's house, and it's like, checking out Casey's house. It's like, okay, so you flew to New York just to check out Casey's house. It's like, these people go worldwide. I mean, how much money do you spend getting that video? I wonder what total out-of-pocket cost Peter McKinnon for producing his shows. I mean, travel and room and board alone have got to be substantial. I can't imagine they're always comped. You know, of course, sometimes they are. Going up to the Sony whatever warehouse in Kansas, whatever. Maybe they flew them up there for a promo. Who knows? But some of these things are just like trips with friends, and it's like, dude, what's an international flight cost these days? You know, $1,000 a pop. Dude must travel at least once or twice a month. I mean, that adds up. That's the cost of doing business. But this dude gets around. He travels. I was traveling for a while with work. Not that I had a choice. Not that I had a choice, but we were doing stuff for International Paper, and we were also doing stuff for Stewart Enterprises, trillionaires that own all the funeral homes in the world. Who would have known that there's a monopoly on funeral homes? There is. Stewart Enterprises. They're a big, creepy, dark-suited, skeletal board that owns all the funeral homes in the world. Nice enough people. They all have this attitude like, I'll be seeing you again. I'm like, really? That's like the attitude you get. It's weird. And they're very creepy, all of them, but they're weird. So what I noticed while we were hopping around North Carolina to Ohio, just all these northeastern funeral homes, we meet these funeral home directors, and they're all like, I like the Bushes. They were like George Bush, you know, Junior Bush, and GW, and like, yeah, we're all millionaires. And I'm like, really? You go in there, they got like these little mini mansions, because they're only like, you know, 12,000 square feet, you know, and they have like, this one guy had like a trophy room with every animal you could imagine, hundreds of animal heads on the wall. It was beautiful and sad. I think it was equal parts sad and beautiful, because they had like an elephant, that's sad. They had like a zebra. Like, really, dude? Why don't you go shoot a cow? It's like, whatever. But anyway, it was weird. It was mostly sad. So anyway, he had hundreds of heads. Polar bear, black bear, red bear, whatever the hell, you know? And there's just animals everywhere. And he was just like this eccentric millionaire. Nice, friendly, you know, offers the shirt off his back. Just take it, whatever you need. You want some food? You want some drink? Like super, like George Bush. It was speaks just like George Bush. It was the GW. It was so funny. And we're at dinner or whatever one day, and he's like, I don't know. We started talking about. I imagine you guys have seen some strange things, you know. And you know, oh yeah, we saw some strange stuff. One time we had a big old fella, must have been 500 pounds, and we're putting him in the crematorium, and it takes about 15-20 minutes, you know, for him to burn down, maybe an hour, I don't know. So we come back and the room is filled with smoke, and we got red ooze oozing out of the front of the oven. His fat had caught on fire and oozed out the front of the door, and it was like shaking the pipes, and there was so much smoke coming out of there, it was just like shaking the whole facility, and it was oozing out like lava. It was human fat dripping out of the door like lava. I'm like, and they're like, that was a weird sight, you know. I'm like, funeral home humor. I'm like, oh, okay. So yeah, Okay. So there was like weird stories like that wherever we went. It was like, a body got left behind, someone swapped the bodies, they had a wrong body out one time, just weird stories in their share. And anyway, all these guys, these are businesses, these are family businesses that have been in the family for 100, 150 years in these small little podunk towns, and everyone knows them. It's like the Smiths, they're the funeral home people. They care. Stewart Enterprises sweeps in, offers them, I don't know, somewhere between $1 and $5 million. Maybe more than that, $5 to $10 million. Who knows? $100 million. I don't know what the hell it was for their funeral home. They pay the funeral home director like $1 million a year just to use the family name and to have his face every now and then, And so they keep the face and they own it. They run all the businesses. He just shows up, picks up his $1 million check, pats the grieving family on the back and says, we're still here for you. And he sweeps out of there. And that's what they do. They own all the funeral homes in the world, And hey, more power, whatever, but it's a monopoly. Without a doubt, a monopoly. It's the weirdest thing. And we did that for a while, hopped around, I don't know, 4 or 5 different states. And we did something for International Paper. That was fun. International Paper, they do so many weird products. It was like the weirdest products you've ever seen. We're like going through this facility. One end of the facility, you go in this warehouse the size like the inside of the Superdome. It was massive. And what looked like blood vessels coming up off the conveyor belts and around the ceiling, everywhere, crisscrossing, thousands and thousands and millions of cups. They printed, in this particular facility, they printed like a third or half of the world's orders for McDonald's cups. They had, I forgot what it was. It was unbelievable. Like 1 million every 20 minutes or some crap like that. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, you got to see this to believe it. It looked like blood in the ceiling with these clear bank tubes with a billion zillion cups flying through them. It doesn't stop. It's like fully automatic. And there were red cups at the time, some promotion they were doing, whatever, kind of like a Wendy's red cup. And they were just full of these cups. And it's like these rolls are like the size of my car that they use for the paper, that waxy paper. And they put it on the conveyor belt and they stamp them out, they cut them, they print them. It's like, oh my gosh, watching that was just amazing. You should really, I guess that thing's on the air somewhere, I don't know. But anyway, so that was one of the things we did. And so they're doing McDonald's cups on one side. And then on the other side of the facility, you go in there, I swear, this looks just like Oscorp from Spider-Man. It's at that little scene where the machine is like, it was like the webbing machine when they were like, the machine was like spinning and braiding webbing around something. It was like webbing. Anyway, imagine like a paper towel, like a 4-foot paper towel tube, vertical, and a machine spinning around it really fast, shooting like what looked like a spider web. It was like, and it was like spinning and like braiding a spider web up and down this tube, and it was like 4 feet tall, and it was like a greenish fiberglassy looking thing, and it just kept going around and around and up and down and around, and it was like, what the heck is this thing? And they said, oh, in this facility, we are making tubes to put sticks of dynamite in for ejection seats for jets, like F-16s or whatever the heck it is, Like, what? Yeah, the tube is, it's like carbon fiber is what they were doing. Carbon fiber wrapping tubes, like a 1/4 inch thick to an inch, half-inch thick, I don't know how thick it gets, of carbon fiber around like a paper towel tube, okay? Basically. And this stuff is so strong, you put a dynamite stick in it, and it just blows out the ends. It doesn't blow out the middle. That's how they get those ejector seats out of jets. They explode them out of the jet. And they go shooting up through the ceiling. The ceiling breaks off, and the ejector seat explodes out of the jet. And it's like, what? It was so cool. So every now and then you'd see stuff like that, And then one time we went in this mine town. That was kind of depressing. I forgot where this was. This was like, your classic coal mining town. You know, gauntly, ghostly people covered in smudges, like moving around like spirits in and out of this mine shaft. It was like just like you see in the movies, just like it. And I mean, it was weird. It was like just like dragging themselves to this dismal black lung existence. It was like, oh man. And I think my job in TV is bad. You know, it's like they're just like, or tough, not bad. It's a great job. And they're walking, and they're like, and it's like, oh no. And it's like, I don't even know what we did that day. I don't know what we stopped in there, and I don't know. It was weird. It was really weird to see some strange stuff. But yeah, thank the Lord I don't work in a coal mining town, because Lord knows I'd probably never leave that job too. And it's just bizarre. So, anywho, yeah, it's been fun. That was our little travels, but I didn't really travel much after that. Maybe flew to Disney World or Disneyland. I don't like flying. I get mad when I'm flying. I guess I convert my fear into anger, because it's like, if I die in this stupid plane, what a dumb way to go. Yet, you know, driving to work every day here, you know, 2.5 hours of driving in this traffic every day, I've got like a gazillion more chances of dying than in a plane. But still, I don't want to die in a plane. That's just dumb, you know. And I was like, that's not the way I want to go. So, anyway, nice morbid conversation this morning. So it's drizzly and rainy and dark and great day. Great day to be at work. So, yeah, that's it. Just a hey, how you doing today? And I might try some test on the mask. I got to see how masks. I don't like pluralizing things like wasps. That sounds so weird. Wasps. I don't like doing sound effects. Sounds like I'm, hey, you, I'm talking to you. You know, I don't like that. So anyway, it's all good. Let me know where you guys are with your films, your 1 minute film. If you're having any special effects or anything cool, let me know. I want to know how you're doing it. And how would you mask a reflection of video on a mask like this when his head's bobbing all around? And you know, it's interesting because think about it. If the lockdown camera on the mask, that sounds easy and everything. If it was just living on his face, but what's happening is the reflection is coming and going out of his mask, so it becomes really, really difficult if you're doing a motion track. I gotta look that up. I'm gonna look and see tips and pointers on how to do that, because it might be easier just to track it on the mask since it's a lockdown. But either way, it's gonna be dicey. It'll take a long time. So anyway, if you got any ideas, let me know. Until next time.